Hey Laserpreneur, are you pouring hours into your laser cutter, cranking out amazing products, but still feel like your business isn't really going anywhere? Well, you're not alone. Today we're gonna dive deep into the single biggest mistake I see laser makers make, a mistake that can keep you stuck in a cycle of busy work and prevent you from achieving your growth and the freedom you deserve. Hi, I'm Brandon, the co-founder of Laser Design Club, and I've seen hundreds of laser makers get trapped in this pitfall. It's the difference between having a laser and having a thriving laser business. So what is this crucial mistake? It's working in your business too much and not working on your business. And in this video, we're gonna talk exactly what that's about. So what does working in your laser business look like for your average laser maker? Well, it's stuff like getting bogged down with daily tasks, the essential operations, sure, but often the ones that keep you chained to your machines. Now granted, these are important when you're first starting out. You're usually the only person that's going to be doing these. And that's unfortunate, but after a certain time, you have to be able to work on your business as opposed to work in. So these next few things are examples of working in your business too much that are distracting you from taking your business to where it is, to where you want it to be. Let me know if this sounds familiar. You're spending a lot of your time making custom orders from scratch. Granted, custom orders are great, but they also take a lot of time. And that time distracts us from working on our business as opposed to working in our business. I know I've been there. I've spent a lot of time on custom orders and they feel great to do, but reality is you don't get too much money out of those custom orders when you're doing one-offs. How about this one? You're the only one operating your laser, especially for repetitive tasks. Now, don't get me wrong, if you're a one-person wrecking crew, I understand that you do need to operate your laser solo. But for things like mass-produced items, maybe you have a husband or a wife that can help you, or a friend that could even run your laser, even just clear out the machine for you so you're not stuck in front of your machine. I know I've been there. I've literally stood in front of my machine for hours as I'm unmasking the load that I just got out and then I'm putting another one in, and it's such a time suck. So if you could get an extra pair of hands to help you with some of the more trivial work, that can help you get out of the individual business so you could work on your business. Along those same lines, are you the only one that's physically putting all your products and wrapping and shipping them for all your orders? Once again, to do every single step in the laser cutting process, not only from cutting to sanding to finishing and painting and putting it all together, gluing, and then you're physically putting the packages in your boxes, shipping them out, taking them to the post office or the UPS store or whatever. It involves a lot of time. So if you could get maybe even your kids to do this spot, if you have kids. I know I've helped my wife quite a bit when we're putting out a lot of orders. She does a lot of the fine finishing, but I did all of the packing and a lot of the cutting. So we each have our individual roles, which helps us speed things along so we could work on the business as opposed to in the business so much. Now this next one falls into the custom order category. Once again, are you spending a ton of time going back and forth with a customer for custom orders? Maybe you're sending messages back and forth all day and you're really not getting anything done, because when you're working on something, then you get a message and then you have to stop what you're doing and go back and forth. So although custom orders can be great, they do take up a lot of time, which prevents you from working on your business. And last but not least, you're so busy working on your current orders that you can't plan for anything in the future. You don't know what next week is gonna bring, next month is gonna bring, or even next year. There's no time to plan, there's no time for extra marketing because you're so consumed by what's going on in the day-to-day that you don't have any kind of long-term plan. Now, yes, these tasks are necessary, especially in the beginning, to keep the lights on. But if you stay in only this mode, you're never going to progress to where you want it to be. So you have to find ways to work on your business as opposed to just working in your business if you really want to take your hobby to a full-time business. All right, on the other hand, working on your business is about taking a step back and focusing on the strategic elements that will drive long-term growth and sustainability. So if you want to speed up the process, you really need to develop systems for shipping, processing, and even ordering materials. All these things can help you. While they do seem simple, they could save you time, energy, and specifically focus to help you work on the business as opposed to in the business. Now, a lot of people fail with this one, and it's, in my opinion, one of the most important. They're too busy working in their business that they fail to do any type of marketing to get the word out. People are not gonna know about the products that you have to sell if you don't market to them. So that involves working on your business, on marketing to get the word out so people actually can buy your stuff. If you spend a little time working on your business, you're gonna notice some trends as well. Maybe the products that are best selling, or maybe materials that people like more than others. If you're just too busy working on the day-to-day, you're not going to see these overall trends, which might help you grow your business a lot faster than just doing and fulfilling the orders for the day. Along the same lines, if you're so concerned about working in the business and not working on the business, you really need to be constantly testing new things. If you're not working on the business, you're not going to be testing, new products, new SKUs, new materials, and that is what is going to mainly attract new customers, or you could make new products to sell to your existing customers. So if you're not doing either one of those two, it's not going to help you get your business to where you want it to be. And last but not least, if you're not trying to build a laser brand, a recognizable brand that has repeat customers and a defined target audience, you're just going to be spinning your wheels doing one-offs, working the same day over and over and over again, or realistically the same year over and over and over again, because you're not going to have any kind of proven strategy to develop a laser brand. So you need to put some time aside to work on the brand and on the business as opposed to in the business. All right, so what happens when you get stuck only working in your business? The consequences can be significant. All right, the first consequence is going to be burnout. Because unfortunately, if you're just concerned about everyday operations, you're going to get overwhelmed and exhausted because, let's be honest, it's a lot of work, especially if you're doing one custom order after custom order. It's a lot of work in a short amount of time, and there's no real system for getting new orders in consistently. So you're going to be exhausted, and it's just going to be a bad recipe for your laser business. The second consequence, it's unfortunate, but it's going to be stagnated growth. And we definitely don't want that, all right? So if you are the only person working in your business, and for a lot of us, that may be the case, but we're limited by one person's actions. There is only 24 hours in a day, and we just don't have all the time and all the means to do every single thing. So we need to try to implement some kind of extra pair of hands or train someone, get someone's help, even to do the trivial things, which will open up much more time for you to work on your business. And this last consequence is a big one, and it's the lack of freedom. And initially, I feel like a lot of people are drawn to the laser business because they see the freedom that it could potentially bring us. Being an entrepreneur, we all love our individual freedom, but if we're constantly tied to our laser, that's gonna really have us burned out once again, and we're gonna feel like we're chained to our laser, and that is not how we wanna feel if we wanna have a profitable laser business. Now, don't get me wrong, there is some good news. It's never too late to start shifting your focus. Here are some actionable steps that can take at the beginning to work on your business, even if you have a little time each week. All right, so this is something that I want you to start doing right away, and I refer to it as like scheduling some CEO time. So what that means is every single week, I want you to let out about an hour or 2 hours. It could even be in 30 minutes at a time, but it needs to be chunk time that you set like an important date, like an important appointment. Because if you don't set it, if you don't have quiet time where you can actually focus, you're never gonna get the work done. And you have to be strict with yourself because once again, if we're entrepreneurs, we don't have to listen to anyone but ourselves. So we have to be hard on ourselves. We need to be able to chunk out a little bit of time each week so we could work on working on the business as opposed to working in. So things like planning for the future, coming up with new designs, coming up with different strategies for marketing. We need to set aside a time for us to focus and work on that alone. The second thing we can do is identify repeatable steps. And by that, I mean things like sanding, packaging, even printing, running the machine, taking things out. Can we outsource any of those items to anyone in our family or any of our friends to give us a hand? Recruit your husband, your wife, your kids, your mom, your dad, someone to help you with these easily trained and repeatable tasks so you can spend more time working on your business as opposed to in. The next thing I want you to do is focus on one particular growth area, whether that's Etsy, whether that's social media, whether that's building an email list, whether that's warm or cold outreach. I want you to spend your CEO time developing some kind of strategy that you want to try and implement in the near future. I know this next one may be a bit of a blow to the ego, but if you could try to learn from somebody else who's been there and done that, trust me, you're going to learn so much quicker and you're going to progress so much faster, because if someone has been there and done that, you could learn from them and not make the same mistakes. So go on YouTube like we are right now. Go to Facebook groups, ask questions, find courses that you could learn from to speed up your learning curve. Because if you could speed up your learning curve and not make so many mistakes, your laser business is going to progress much faster. And the last one I want you to try to do is batch similar tasks. So whether that means designing everything all at once for the day, whether that means running your machine at all times at the same time, whether that means doing all your packaging at the same time, try to batch similar products. Because if you're just running through the entire process of printing, sanding, finishing, gluing, packaging, going to the store, you got to try to do them all roughly at the same time. You'll save so much time if you just do all your packaging. Typically, I just let all of our orders stack up for a day or two, and then I package them all at the same time. Or we let our orders roll in and we run them all at the same time. It's so much more efficient to do one big chunk at a time as opposed to doing just one order and putting it all the way through the process. Shifting your focus from just working in your business to working on your business is a huge game changer. It's the key to sustainable growth, increased freedom, and most importantly, to get the successful laser business that you've always dreamed of. So drop a comment below. What are you going to do this week to work on your business as opposed to in your business? Plus, if you're interested, I'm doing free sessions for a limited time, and these sessions are to help you take your hobby to a business. It's called the 3 Pillars of Laser Success, and you can click the link below to register for this live session. Now, seats are limited. I'm only doing this for a limited time, so make sure to click the link and register today. But if you like this video, guys, make sure you like and subscribe for more, because we're really going to be hammering on laser-focused business content to help you turn your business from a hobby to a full-time business, and hopefully I can help you make a little bit more money along the way. Once again, my name was Brandon from Laser Design Club, and I'll see you very soon. Now, really quick, guys, if you like this video, you're gonna love this one, so go ahead and check it out.